Early in the morning of February 2nd, the Celebrity Solstice docked at the Overseas Passenger Terminal that first opened in 1960. Located at Circular Quay in Sydney, the Overseas Passenger Terminal also enjoys uninterrupted views of the city skyline, Sydney Harbour, and the Sydney Opera House. This is the view we enjoyed from our cabin balcony. Before disembarkation, we took the time to walk around Deck 15, that offered fantastic views of Sydney. The Sydney Harbour Bridge across Sydney Harbour carries rail, vehicular, bicycle and pedestrian traffic between the Sydney Central Business District and the North Shore. The bridge is nicknamed the Coat Hanger because of its arch-based design, or is simply called the Bridge by Sydney residents. The dramatic view of the bridge, the harbour, and the nearby Sydney Opera House is an iconic image of Sydney and Australia. Upon disembarkation, we were bused to the Menzies Hotel, ideally located across the street from the Wynyard Station and just 10 kilometers from the Sydney Airport. Once we had secured our corresponding rooms, we took the train back to the harbour to catch the next available ferry to Manly, a beachside suburb of northern Sydney. The main ferry terminus in Sydney Circular Quay is situated at Sydney Cove, the site of the original settlement for Sydney. The Manly ferry journey takes 30 minutes and allows for scenic views of Sydney Harbour and Sydney icons including the Harbour Bridge and the Opera House. in view the Sydney Central Business District, a suburb and the main commercial centre of Sydney, popularly referred to as town or the city. Manly is most notable for its beaches, which are popular tourist destinations. The relaxed lifestyle, beaches and proximity to Sydney City have led the Manly's real estate prices being amongst the highest in Australia. Norfolk Island pine trees are symbolic of Manly and are a prominent feature of both the ocean and harbour beaches. The Manly Wharf, a historic gateway to Manly, has been transformed into a must-see Sydney tourist attraction and a great destination featuring fine waterfront restaurants, entertainment and fun activities like parasailing and kayaking. In view the gateway to the Tasman Sea and Sydney Harbour's entrance. The harbour is an inlet of the Tasman Sea, part of the South Pacific Ocean. Now the ferry is sailing back to Sydney Cove, affording great views of Sydney's famous skyline. Fort Denison is a former penal site and defensive facility occupying a small island located northeast of the Royal Botanic Gardens and about 1 kilometer east of the Opera House. The Celebrity Solstice cruise ship getting ready for her next voyage. Enjoying a bite to eat. Around the Circular Quay area, a popular neighborhood for tourism that consists of walkways, pedestrian malls, parks and restaurants. Despite its name, the waterfront at the quay is roughly square in shape. About the Writer's Walk, dedicated on 13 February 1991. There are 50 metal plaques embedded on the walkway, starting from the International Passenger Terminal on West Circular Quay, all the way to the East Circular Quay to the side of the Sydney Opera House forecourt. An extract of author's writing and a brief biography are written on each of them. Designed by Danish architect Jørn Utzon, the building was formally opened on 20 October 1973 after a gestation beginning with Utzon's 1957 selection as winner of an international design competition. The building and its surrounds occupy the whole of Bennelong Point in Sydney Harbour, adjacent to the Sydney Central Business District and the Royal Botanic Gardens, and close by the Sydney Harbour Bridge. The outdoor forecourt is a flexible open-air venue with a wide range of configuration options, including the possibility of utilizing the monumental steps as audience seating, used for a range of community events and major outdoor performances. Situated immediately southeast of the Sydney Opera House and curved around Farm Cove, the Royal Botanic Garden occupies 74 acres. Opened in 1816, the garden is celebrating its 200th anniversary. It is the oldest scientific institution in Australia and one of the most important historic botanical institutions in the world. La vista è fantastica. Then it was time to walk back to the train station for the ride back to the hotel. We enjoyed a nice dinner at the Steel Bar and Grill restaurant located a block away from the Menzies Hotel. Later that evening, we rode the train back to Circle Quay to enjoy Sydney Harbour at night. Sitting virtually under the northern end of the Sydney Harbour Bridge at Milsons Point, Luna Park first opened in 1935 in the midst of the Great Depression. The amusement park has become an icon on the banks of Sydney Harbour. The gang enjoying ice cream from a Baskin-Robbins outlet in Circular Quay. After a fantastic day exploring Sydney Harbour, it was time to ride back to the hotel for a much-needed good night's sleep.